next thing that I kind of want to talk about is um, indigenous peoples. And in the film, I decide I want to visit Taiwanese Aboriginals, which, like, when people think about Taiwan and discuss what it means to be Taiwanese, it's actually this tension of a discussion between Han Chinese. Han is an ethnic group, of the largest ethnic group of Chinese people. They immigrated from the province like Fuzhou, like 400, like 300 years ago, Ming Qing dynasty, and then also a new wave of people who had come from China post the Chinese Civil War, like in like the 50s. And my family actually comes from, my family was displaced because of war. So, like, it's a long journey, but like, eventually they ended up in Taiwan. And, but my grandparents all like started in mainland China. So in the conversation about what it means to be Taiwanese American, I'm often discounted because I'm what they call a Weissenren, or a person who was born not here. Okay? What's unfortunate about this discussion about what it means to be Taiwanese is that no one actually ever talks about the Aboriginal people who've been living there for thousands of years before all these Chinese people showed up. And for me, like, I wanted to know Taiwan. When I say I'm Taiwanese, I want to know not just the part of that identity that's my own, like, ethnic group, but also all the people who've ever called Taiwan home. Because in many ways, like, if we like exist in this land together, our narratives are shared. And they like, I was just riding through the village, and then they were like, "Hey, are you lost? Why are you even here? Like, why, like, you know, nobody comes to see us." And then they're like, "Are you hungry?" And Sissy, you'll get this. And I was like, a little. Which means I was like super, super hungry to even admit that like I was hungry at all, because Chinese people were like, "No, I'm fine, I'm fine." I had been biking like 40 miles and I had not eaten in like 6 hours. So I was like, a little. And then they invited me, and we just sat and we talked for like 3 or 4 hours. And I found so many intersections between their displacement and their existence as a subordinate cult, like within a dominant Han culture, with my own tensions of being like an Asian American person in America. We all have been displaced or moved for one reason or another. And I think that, if anything, I've always noticed this with, like you were saying, with the Asian American community, is a sense of, like, where's my home? And that is a theme that, throughout my film, I keep asking. I keep asking of different people, with different stories, with different backgrounds, who ascribe Taiwan as their place. But most of all, like, I can talk about this little island, you know, in the like South China Sea, that probably actually is more influential to your day-to-day life than you realize. But like, what do we all have to take away from that? For me, the journey taught me not only what it meant to be Taiwanese American, but it also it made me think about what it meant to be American as well. Let me tell you a quick little story. There's a place with indigenous people who've been living there for thousands of years. And then about like 400 years ago, a bunch of people come and they settle that. And then, you know, like 60 years ago, a bunch of people came. And those people from 400 years ago are like, "You're not us. You're not us." Even though, you know, like, you actually came from the same country that we did. You're not like us. We are the real people of these people. Does that sound familiar to any of you guys?